It was her first day at the old, dilapidated asylum turned rehabilitation center. Emily had eagerly accepted the job as a nurse, despite the rumors surrounding the place. They said it was haunted, that strange things happened in the dead of night. But Emily wasn't one to believe in ghost stories. She needed this job to pay off her student loans. The sun was setting as Emily arrived at the imposing building. Its crumbling facade loomed over her, casting long shadows that seemed to dance in the fading light. She shook off the feeling of unease that crept up her spine and made her way inside. The interior was just as decrepit as the outside, with peeling paint and flickering lights. Emily tried to focus on the task at hand, ignoring the chill that seemed to seep into her bones. She met with the head nurse, a stern woman named Mrs. Thompson, who gave her a quick tour of the facility. As they walked down the dimly lit corridors, Emily couldn't shake the feeling that they were being watched. Mrs. Thompson noticed her unease and chuckled. "Don't worry, dear," she said. "It's just your first day jitters. You'll get used to it." But Emily wasn't so sure. There was something off about this place, something that sent shivers down her spine. Her first task was to check on the patients in the East Wing. Emily made her way down the corridor, the sound of her footsteps echoing off the walls. She peeked into each room, making sure everyone was settled in for the night. But as she passed one particular room, she heard a soft whispering coming from inside. Curiosity got the better of her, and she pushed the door open. The room was empty, save for a single bed pushed against the far wall. Emily frowned, wondering if she had imagined the whispering. But then she heard it again, louder this time. "Help me." The voice sent a chill down her spine, and Emily backed out of the room, slamming the door shut behind her. She told herself it was just her imagination, that she was letting the rumors get to her. But as the night wore on, strange things began to happen. Lights flickered on and off, doors slammed shut on their own, and Emily couldn't shake the feeling of being watched. She tried to focus on her work, but the sense of unease only grew stronger as the hours passed. Finally, unable to take it anymore, Emily went to find Mrs. Thompson. But when she reached the nurse's station, she found it empty. The lights flickered overhead, casting long shadows that seemed to reach out for her. "Mrs. Thompson," Emily called out, her voice echoing off the walls. "Are you there?" There was no response, only the sound of her own racing heartbeat. Panic began to set in as Emily realized she was alone in the dark, haunted asylum. She turned to leave, but something caught her eye. A shadowy figure stood at the end of the corridor, its form shifting and twisting in the darkness. Emily froze, unable to tear her gaze away from the figure. It seemed to beckon her forward, its voice a soft whisper in the back of her mind. "Come to me, Emily. I've been waiting for you." With a scream, Emily turned and ran, the sound of her footsteps echoing off the walls as she fled the asylum. She didn't stop until she reached the safety of her car, heart pounding in her chest. As she drove away from the cursed place, Emily vowed never to return, but the memory of that first day on the job would haunt her for the rest of her days, a chilling reminder of the darkness that lurked within the shadows.